Hotel, Black Power, Peace. It's your brother Shock Sankofa. I was telling y'all about my other nephew that was robbed and shot several times about a couple of weeks ago. But I just got word that he's also has made his ascension unto the ancestral realm. So ask the ancestors, the Creator, to allow the ancestors to embrace these brothers, because both of them left, checked out, made their ascension a little before their time, or far before their time, and at this time we just ask the ancestors and the Creator to embrace them and help them through their travels, and and let us do our part and allow those brothers to live through us. And that's another thing. We killing each other at this alarming rate. And this is a result. It's just not us killing each other, and this is a result. Like I always say, this is a result of slavery. That's been passed on through our DNA. The self-hatred that was imposed on us by these crack-ass slave masters that make us have no regard for each other, because when you hate yourself, you have no regard for anybody that looks like you, because it's a reflection of you. And if you hate yourself, you definitely hate the reflection of you. So you try to kill that self that you hate that's within. All of these spiritual paralysis that we deal with, the insecurities, the low self-esteem. That's why we marry outside of our race. That's why we engage and have love for people who don't resemble us, and we try to emulate the people that don't resemble us, because we hate we hate the people that resemble us, because it's us. And this is a time where a lot of us are going out of here, and before our time, and the ones that are here, it appears that a lot of them are the ungrateful ones, the ones that don't appreciate life, the ones that take advantage of people, the ones that destroy healthy, happy situations and relationships among the others that are conscious, that are trying to grow, that are trying to eliminate and bring, liberation and salvation in the black nation, because a lot of us are out here fighting, to try to bring us together, try to bring some closure to a lot of our indifferences and our ideologies that we're not comfortable with, or that we have disagreements with in all areas of our lives. Mainly the religion has really destroyed us as a people, because and Christianity, Islam, those religions were forced on us. Specifically, Christianity was forced on us during slavery. That was the only thing that we were allowed to have any type of diction in terms of having comprehension to, is to pick cotton, take a raping and a whipping, and be obedient to these scriptures in the Bible that were created by slave masters, for the purpose of us being obedient and accepting slavery, and we still go by that today, and especially this in Genesis where it says we'll be in a land strange to us for 400 years and all this type of crap. That's propaganda. That's written propaganda that was scripted for the purpose of enslaving us, because that was the prediction that the Pope and the Portuguese and the Romans had predicted, that's how long it would take to indoctrinate us, to have us under their control, was approximately that amount of time. But we take that as though, this is how it was supposed to be. Excuse me. and it was nothing like that, now that a lot of us are shaking off the shackles, the spiritual and the religious shackles off our minds and becoming free. Now those individuals become threats, to the mainstream, to the dominant society, to the hierarchy, to the crackers, or the powers to be, or however you want to describe this motherfucking devil. No matter how you describe him, he's a motherfucking devil. And we're the only ones that have problems amalgamating and growing culturally among each other, and embracing our own culture. And I'm explaining this because this is a problem, and this is an epidemic, and this is the dilemma that is destroying the moral fiber of the black nation. That makes it difficult for us to have liberation and salvation because, you have a lot of these paid coons, and these bed wenches that are paid, tons of money to keep our people in a subordinate level of thinking. So we're unable to rise as a people, and then in that process, not only are we destroying each other through self-hatred, but the devil is doing it. Now, it appears that they have been, these fucking police have been given permission to assassinate us at will, because there's nothing done about that. And we continue to go pray. We continue to have these rallies and these marches, which doesn't mean nothing. This cracker, only thing he believes in and understands and respect is war and bloodshed, because that's how he acquired everything that he has today. He's worked for nothing on this planet. He's taken and destroyed everywhere he stepped his foot on, all 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth. 57 million plus thousands land, plus thousands of miles of land, and 139 million plus thousands of miles of fucking water that this cracker has destroyed and has total domination and implanted fear every corner of this planet. And as a result, the chosen people, which are us, whether you want to accept it or not, or whether you believe it or not, we are the chosen ones. We are the original people, and that's why I can't understand why this amalgamation outside of the black race, that you brothers, choose to pick the weakest, most watered down queen on the chart. I want the original queen, the original black woman, the goddess of the universe. The original black goddess. There's nothing like it. And like I said, once again, they pay these coons and these bed witches to influence our babies and the masses of our people to disrespect and lower the standards and lower the respect of the black queen. Bitches and hoes and tricks and sluts and all. But I never see none of these brothers call that white bitch that. You never hear that. But aside from that, we are, it's time for us to start embracing one another so we can begin to show love. Us brothers, a lot of our brothers are afraid to open their hearts out because, of fear, of fear of what somebody may think of them, what somebody may think of them, that they soft or weak because they have love for a brother. I always say that, all the time when I see brothers that, I have a connection with, I love you, brother, I love you, brothers. And a lot of them, they can't return it because, because they're, they don't have the heart to say that because they feel too vulnerable if they say that. They'll feel as though, it's a weakness or something like that. But not to me. It makes me stronger, because I know who I am. I know how grounded I am in my manhood, and I don't have to constantly keep checking in on my manhood, because that's something that's in my DNA. It's always there, and it's gonna always be there. I don't have to challenge it. I don't have to gauge it. I don't have to connect it. I don't have to compare to nobody or nothing. You know, and once our brothers, once we understand that, then we can move on, because we begin to, once we have that love for one another, then we begin to support one another, then we begin to stand by one another. You know, and that's the thing that white America, these crackers, fears, when the black man family wakes up and stands shoulder to shoulder out this motherfucker and be fucking real goddamn soldiers. You know, real soldiers. You'll see, and when that day comes, you'll see a lot of these brothers, you know, release the shackles of homosexuality, drug addiction, you know, incest, perversion, pedophilia. All those things will just diminish and become obsolete in the minds of our brothers. You know, when we stand shoulder to shoulder, arm to arm, locking arm to arm, willing to die for what we stand for, willing to protect these queens, willing to protect these babies, you know, willing to stand up and give your life and dedicate your life for the resurrection of the original fucking black God, which is the original man, which is us, which is me. You know, and I don't cut that for nobody. You know, we have to stop going by what religions say, that, you know, we're nothing but sinners, we're born in sins, our mother's wombs were polluted, and all this bullshit. You know, and the only way we can get some peace and some fucking salvation is we gotta go check in with this motherfucking cracker, a blonde-head, blue-eyed, buttermilk complected cracker motherfucking Christ, in order to have some goddamn spiritual motherfucking joy. That's bullshit. And you, just the way I just said that, the way it sounds, you can tell there's some motherfucking bullshit and propaganda. You know, but our people are afraid. See, let me explain something, man. You know, a lot of brothers and sisters, you know, they're afraid to remove themselves from that religion. That's how powerful this shit is. It's like a fucking drug, you know, because it was handed down to them, and they feel as though that it worked for their parents and their grandparents, which is, it didn't work, because we wouldn't be in the fucking position that we in now if it worked back then. So this motherfucking bullshit, because they didn't know any better, and I don't blame them. They just didn't know any better. But the shit was handed down to us. You know, we were beaten into believing in this motherfucking crap. You know, and I understand people when they